Hello everybody and welcome back to Good Company. As always, I am Dor, and today we're going to go ahead and fire all of these people, or at least remove the tables. We'll probably not fire them because we're going to set a lineup today, so at least they'll be wandering around. We don't need to really fire them right now because we are pretty profitable still, but we went ahead and finished all of the research, so there's nothing else for us to research, so we're disabling the research area that we set up, and we are going to be disabling the analysis area over here. I believe actually we might leave the analysis thing going for a little longer to go ahead and build up some science points because we still need those to go ahead and unlock some of the things in the business development area. So a couple of them still need science points, which I believe actually maybe not. This is the only one that needs it. So yeah, we can delete those guys too. We don't need science points anymore. We now need to go ahead and shift our focus back to company goals to go ahead and get the little spaceships. We could also leave the research going, the analysis going to generate some of the success points on their own because we have that passive generation thing, but it's only generating 2 per 1,000. So I don't really want to do that. So we'll go ahead and get rid of these guys too, and then we're gonna go ahead and research or unlock all of the separate little products that we can make. So I need to go ahead and disable this guy. Let me go ahead and disable all this, and then we'll go ahead and unlock these guys, right? If we have enough points to do all of these, we'll hopefully be able to set up one of these guys. No, we need 100 more of these things, which should be doable, right? I don't want to rank these guys up right now because we are already discounting them, so if we do it again, we're going to make even less money from them. So I'll leave these all be for right now, but I plan on setting up a line for each of these items today so that we can at least rank them up together, and hopefully in a little while here we can get each of these factories making the highest tier items we can. But let me go ahead and clear these guys out real quick. We can get rid of the bot chassis thing as well. And with all of that stuff sold and ready to go, we are going to go ahead and make our new products here. So we're going to go with the toy robots, which is this guy here, was the next one we could make. And we have to have battery and processing power with only weight as an issue. So we can kind of use the plastic one, I believe, right? That's going to be the lightest one. 6 ounces and 7 ounces. Yeah, I think the plastic one's going to be our best bet on the weight to start. So we'll go with the plastic one. We will go ahead and start that product up. Okay, and we got the Pineapple Robbie 9000. I'm probably going to leave that name alone. So we have either a turtle, which is kind of cool looking. We got an owl, which kind of just looks like a trash can with little wings attached. And we got the modular friend, which is a little tiny robot. I think we're going to go with the turtle because the turtle was the first one we saw, so why not? We got the techie orange color scheme, which is nice. We got the inventor's blue, which is also kind of nice. Meadow green makes it look like a normal little turtle. And we got the summer rainbow, which makes it nice and bright. So we are going to be making a little toy robot. So let's go with this one for right now, the techie orange. Kind of like that scheme. And then we're going to go ahead and smack the modules in. All we need is battery and processing, so it's not too bad. We can either use these guys, right? We have these being produced in bulk, which just shy of meeting the requirement there. We're also making, I believe, these guys, right, in one of these factories right now. That puts us over. These guys are being made in a machine, I believe, so we do have a backlog of these, and I think we'll be able to use those to supply this place as well. We just need to change around a pallet, and then we should be fine. And then we need processing, which is this guy, and let's see. These guys give us processing, and they all give us processing. Okay, so we need 2.0 in processing. This gives us 2.8, 2.7. So let's do the 2.7 one, which was this guy, I believe. And that gets us within range, even on the weight as well. So we're good there. We can go ahead and leave the name. We're fine with that. And all we need is 2 items going into this for the first tier of this item. So that's good. Let's go ahead and finish that one. Okay, and then going from the robot that we just made, we're going to go ahead and make the cleaning bot as well. We are going to go with the plastic bot chassis because it has the better overall stats kind of going for us there. So we're going to go ahead and stick with that one. We are going to go with, let's see, we have like a vacuum without the top bit. We got the squid cleaning squid. Kind of looks cool. And we have the mop 360, which looks like the thing from Rick and Morty if it was pink. I don't remember the name of that thing. But we're going to go ahead and go with the vacuum cube one, right? And we're going to go with, let's see, we got fresh mint, we got powerful orange, lemon yellow, and crystal blue. Kind of digging the orange one. It's nice and bright. So we'll go with that one. We'll leave the name alone again. I'm kind of cool with that name, so why not? And we need to go ahead and manage the other items here. So what are we dealing with? We got mobility and processing and data storage. Data storage shouldn't be too bad to deal with. We need 1.2 on that. And we got, let's see, 0.8 there, 0.8, 1.8, 1.6, 3.0, 2.4, 4.2. So let's do the 1.6 here. You can go ahead and put it in that slot there. Buys us a little leeway. We might have to upgrade that if we end up leveling it up here. Processing power, again, we got 2.7. So I believe it was this one that was 2.7. Yep, there we go. Cool. Smack that there. And then mobility, which I believe is the motor. And trying to keep this one with single items put into it so that we don't have to have multiples going in to kind of increase the output of these things. We're going to go ahead and put that motor in. That's going to boost us to a 3.0. It's going to be a little bit over than what we need, but we're still making a profit and we're well within range. Kind of not on weight. We're an ounce off from capping on that, but we're within range on the other items here. So this will definitely need an upgrade when we rank it up because the only thing that's over is mobility, but everything else is kind of on the line or slightly over. So we will need to upgrade this design when we start ranking it up. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and finish that design. All right, and so for right now, I think that's all we're going to go ahead and set up today. We're going to go ahead and set up those two lines and hopefully have these things ranking up kind of in unison with our courier bot. So as those two get up to level 2, we'll go ahead and rank them up together so that hopefully we can bulk them all together and have every item in our inventory using the same items so that we can continue expanding and maximizing profits here. So we're going to go ahead and set up these guys here. So we need a plastic bot chassis getting made, which is pretty simple to go ahead and automate. We already have the plastic and the plastic controller part looking things, the sundries, plastic sundries being made in this section here. We have a backlog of those items, so I think we'll go ahead and cut down on having to place those down again. We'll just go ahead and set them into this thing to be a logistic item to be transferred between the two. I believe we might even be able to get away with taking those from the other factory as well. But for right now, we'll go ahead and stick to this one because we're pretty much running as efficient as we can. The one thing we are having issues with is the storage container thing in this factory. So it's not running the best that it could be, but it's running efficiently enough to where I don't really want to change it around too much. But let's go ahead and chalk those two items up as being made already. So all we need is the plastic bot chassis. For the plastic bot chassis, rather, we just need the raw plastic coming in and meeting up with it. So we can go ahead and set that one up pretty simply. We can just go ahead and do a courier pallet in the corner, and then we can have plastic coming into this. We will have the sundries and the normal formed plastic being put into that. And then we'll have that going out into an arm like we had in the other factories here. We need our conveyor belts. We might need more than that, but we're fine with that for right now. We can do this into the arm, and then hopefully we can go ahead and squeeze it into a wall. So yeah, we just need that. And then one of these guys should be able to produce those. This guy here should be the one that does it. So we can go ahead and squeeze this in. It looks like we might have to move the arm, so we'll put it there. Right, and then we can go ahead and just scooch that over. That should be fine. Go ahead and conveyor into it, and that should square that away. And then we can go ahead and set that, and we can go ahead and set the filter as well. I'll go ahead and do that in between cuts here, but that should be that. And then we can go ahead and have that going into a container. just so we can have a little bit of a backlog. Did I just put that the wrong way? No, I didn't put it the wrong way. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and smack the little container here in between so that we have a backlog and a place for our workers to be grabbing, which is going to be pretty nice. Declare that the source so they're grabbing from it, and we'll leave it like that for now. And then that is the chassis done for both of these items here. I think one of these machines will be able to keep up with it because it's a 0.27 speed, crafting speed. And then if we go ahead and change the things in this building around to where it produces things faster with plastic, which I think we already had set. And then I believe is it a module or a component? I think it's a component, right? Or is it a module? Does it tell me what this thing is? It's a module. Okay, so if we go ahead and put that one on there instead of the component one, we should hopefully see a faster output than 0.27. No, we still see a 2.27. Okay, never mind. But anyways, that's going to be making the bot chassis. So then all we need to go ahead and do is they also share these guys, the microcontroller, which we can make in an advanced electronic workbench. And we need multi-layer PCBs, integrated circuits, and electronic parts, so that's not too bad to make. Okay, so assuming that I have all of the machines down that we are going to need, we can go ahead and have most of the stuff kind of being automated already because we have the other items being made and backlogged, and I think we can get away with squeezing them in. So with the, what was this guy called? Multi-layer PCB, right? We only need chemicals and the plastic coming in, and we can automate it with one of the pallets because we're going to have the circuit boards coming in from the warehouse over here, so we can go ahead and kind of squeeze that in already without too much of an issue. So let's go ahead and get that rolling, and the other stuff is just going to be a lot of metal basically, and a couple more of the random bits and bob things getting placed down. We can't place it there because then we won't have the arm turnability to get it in and out of that area. So if we go ahead and place it here, what is going into this guy? This guy is going to have sundries and plastics, so we still need an angle of people being able to get in there. So if I go and pause this, actually, I don't want the people doing anything they shouldn't be doing. So we need the PCBs going into this guy, or the circuit boards. We need chemicals and we need plastic. So chemicals and plastic, there we go. That's going to be logistics only. And then same thing here. We just go ahead and hook up an arm, and that is this machine pretty much done. Although we can't put it here because it's going to block the walkway. So we have to move it. Okay, there we go. If we just scooched over one and then flip it around like that, we should have a walkway in between the shelf and the machine there. So we should be fine to go ahead and just connect it in like that now. And then that's going to be doing that. We're going to have it come back out and go into another shelving unit like we've been doing. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. We don't need a lot of these. So again, we're just going to use a normal single shelf here. And it's going to be storing into this. Make that the sink so they know to grab. And that's that little area done. And then we need to go ahead and automate. I believe the metal is the only other thing we can fully automate from a pallet here, because everything else is going to require workers, so we're kind of limited there. But we need the pipes getting produced and then going into the sundries, and then I believe these guys are just metal, right? Yeah, this is just metal being cut into gears, and I think we might actually be able to go ahead and just pull from here. So that's like a section of the whole thing we don't need to do, because I think we're making enough of this metal stuff that we don't really need to set another line up. So I'm going to actually delete these things and pull from here. So we're going to be pulling I believe we need the sundries and the gears. So the screws and the gears. So let's go ahead and do that. Screws and gears. We're not making the little cog looking things, are we? No. We still need these guys, and that just kind of cut down on the space we need for this. So we have the chassis, the PCBs. These guys are going to be placed somewhere in here. These are the ones that need the screws and the gears. So let's go ahead and make this one that sync point. So we need the gears and the screws. And then let's go ahead and get all the other items back over here. These guys are pretty straightforward, right? Just electronics and plastic. So we'll have the plastic already coming in. We can go ahead and squeeze these guys over here. We don't have an automation thing for these guys yet. And I don't think there is an option to go ahead and have these things going through a machine. If we look at the recipe, we can go through the highest tier thing is the advanced electronics workbench, and we don't have that currently unlocked. That's the last thing we need, or the last table that we need. Everything else is just the boosters or whatever they're called. I don't know, the little boost things that you get for your areas. But we're gonna have those guys there. We need these guys to come back over here, just so we can keep a track of what we're placing down and what we're not. So that can go there for right now. That's fine. Same thing with this guy over here. So these guys can go ahead and get automated, right? We're gonna have those coming in and out, but I want to have it in a way that these things are going to what they need to be going to. So they need to be close to the motors. Same thing with this guy here. So we'll have the tier 1 motor over here for right now. Tier 2 motor can be near it. The PCB things, what are you going into? You are the end of line product, basically. So you can hang out for right now. I'm not too worried about that. That's also end of line product. So I'm not too worried about that either. If we can squeeze that in there, cool. And then we can go ahead and set these guys up over here so we can just have these shelves next to each other, right? We're going to have to space them out a smidge. And then we can go ahead and set the shelving units up for these guys, which is pretty simple. Can we do this and have them interact? No, because they're only going to interact with one side. So we'll stick with the normal shelvings that we've always been using. And then let me go ahead and set the items up in these guys really quick. So with those guys done, that's that little chunk set up. And then these guys can go ahead and get squeezed in over here. And pretty much the same thing needs to go on with these guys. So we're going to have the PCBs being made here, the integrated circuits being made in warehouse as well, and then electronic parts are the other item we can go ahead and have being brought in. But I think what we might, oh actually no, because we have this thing filled up, so we'll just have another shelving unit, which is pretty straightforward, right? We'll have the same thing pretty much, the PCBs being brought over, electronics and those guys. So PCBs, electronics, and these guys, right? Yeah. And then we will go ahead and put these guys back in, which are the microcontrollers. So we'll have 2 stacks of these guys in there. And then we can go ahead and set the other ones as 2 items. So is it controller unit? I totally spaced out on the name of this thing. Microcontroller. So not that guy. There we go. Microcontroller. This guy. So we'll have 2 stacks of that. Make that a source. And then that can hang out here. And then what do we have left? We have this guy and then the integrated circuits. So this guy can hang out over here. It's going to need basically all the same stuff, or the things that we're already making. And then if we want to go ahead and cut down on travel time, we can just go ahead and put it here, because that way it's not covering as much distance. Okay, well, moment of truth here. Either we have it all set up correctly and it's going to start producing products, or I missed something and we're going to see that in a second. So I should have everything set up the way it needs to be set up. I'm going to go ahead and fire these people as we, which is that? There we go. As we allow this stuff to run here. Let's go ahead and get rid of these people. And I guess they're not super expensive. I didn't realize they're only 20 bucks a day to keep employed. So yeah, it's really no big deal to be firing them, I guess. But let's just go ahead and clear out our inventory here of people employed. And hopefully we start seeing some sort of movement over here for these guys to start turning a profit. Okay, and with all of them gone, we came to the realization that I did indeed forget to do something, of course. So we need to go ahead and hire in. We'll do 4 people working in this area here to go ahead and spread out the items here for them to be doing stuff. And then we also need to... go ahead and set electronic parts as something coming in, because we didn't do that. And that should be everything. And we should start seeing movement here, which we are, but that's mostly just items that that were already made outside of this factory and brought back in. So yeah, electronic parts is going to be the issue for us right now. So let's see, it's there. Let's hire in one more person. Kind of regret selling everybody now. There we go. And see if we're able to go ahead and get things rolling a little smoother here. But this place is good. The other place over here is fine still. Looks like we're turning out a good chunk of calculators right now. These are calculators, right? Yeah. No, like the sound things, the music things that we have. Turning out a good chunk of those. But nonetheless, here, hopefully we can go ahead and get these things ranked up as well at some point. Probably not today. But there we go. Our whatchamacallit ticked over, so I'm going to pause it really quick. We're going to close all these things out because we're not completing any of those. We will go ahead and set some of these new ones that we got. So we're making the cleaning bot, which we need a 280 mobility on, which we don't have on the one we're making right now. And we're doing toy robots. Isn't there a quest for a toy robot? This one here, it wants us to sell 100,000 toy robots for 0 gold or more. So we're going to go ahead and set that one because we're producing that. We're also producing cleaning bots, but I don't... Oh, yeah, it was the mobility one. Okay, never mind. We will go ahead and set on the craft module one. And I don't think we'll be making $1 million in a 90-day period, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. And I guess increase company net worth again, just to see if we can actually complete it. I don't think we will, but we need something to generate some science points here, or research points, success points rather, to start turning in the last table that we need. So everything seems to be working fine. The hold up right now are the controller things. That's what our people are running out of right now. And I guess it's because we need to be producing 4 of them since we have 4 tables down and we're only having 2 of these things producing it. But I think if we're able to go ahead and get some of the success points and unlock that last table, I think that would help a lot. But we need 240 points, and the only way we can get those right now is cranking through a bunch of science and getting them that way, or trying to complete some of these things, which it's kind of difficult to kind of gauge which ones we can and can't actually complete right now. But anyways, before we go ahead and wrap up today, we're going to go ahead and buy as many buildings as we can. So we have all of the space open, so when we do decide to go ahead and expand, we can go ahead and just do it without waiting for our income to kick in so we can buy things. So let's go ahead and buy everything on the map if we are able to. I don't know how much expensive these things are going to get. So that's 200 grand. We still haven't even broke under 3 million off of those. There we go, 600 grand. There we go. We broke under it now. And that's 100 grand. We got another one for 100. 131. Company growth. Okay, so that completed one of the quests. Increase company net worth by 580,000. I'm gonna not buy any more buildings because if that's the case, that is counting as our stuff going up. Does it tell me net worth is 10 million right now for our company? I'm gonna hold off for a second, let the month thing cycle through, and then reset the next tier of this thing and see if that completes as well by us buying the rest of the buildings. Because, well, it probably won't since there's only 2 buildings left. Dang it. Anyways, I'm gonna hold off then. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see if it does do anything or not. So the only company goal we actually completed there was the one to increase our company net worth. So we're sitting at 4,000, bouncing up to 5. So let's see if we buy this one, and that's gonna be 30 grand. A $30,000 building, and then this one is, if I can click on the little signpost, 170, and that boosted it up to 46,000. So no, I think it helped that we bought that many buildings to go ahead and rank that up, but those 2 buildings that we just bought alone right there aren't going to be enough to boost our thing. But I'm kind of curious, what if we go ahead and just spam down a bunch of, let's go with the $70,000 machines. So if we do that, that is kind of increasing our company worth, is it not? I think it will be. So we were sitting at 40-something thousand. I think we get the money back by selling these anyways, so I'm fine with doing this. I don't think we're losing anything by doing it. Could be wrong. But let's do that. Is our thing moving at all? We are at 289. 289, and which one were we doing? The welding. Let's continue here. And I don't know if this is actually doing anything or not, so we could just be wasting time here. But if we aren't, then cool. If we are, then no big deal. Let's put that there. So we were at 289. We're at 460 right now. We don't have enough money to put any more down. So what if we delete these? 460. Are we losing money? We are losing money into the thing there. So we're sitting at 41.6, 41.7. We sell that guy, and we lose. Was it 10,000? So we could leave all of these here for right now, just so we kind of cheese the system a smidge, if you will. We got enough money to put a couple more down, and that's all we can do. Actually, can we go into the red to complete this? Is it gonna let us do that? It is, but we run the risk of going bankrupt. What if we cheese it even more and then do this? Is there a limit to how far in we can go? No, it just has 178 days. We're sitting at 500,000. So can we do this? And I really hope we don't go bankrupt and fail the game right now. Let's do that. And we're sitting at 630. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do this, but let's go ahead and do it so we get the points at least so we can unlock that table. 6,700, and one more should do the trick. Two more should do the trick. There we go. And that's completed. We have the points to go ahead and get the table. Let's go ahead and clear all these before we unpause the game and run the risk of maybe failing. That should be fine. Let me clear this up. Okay, now that that's done, right, we have the points. And so let's go ahead and unlock this final table. The other tables that we do need are the research and analysis ones, but I don't really, honestly, I don't really care to get those anymore. We have all the research done. The only thing we would need those for is to go ahead and get the success points, which for the rest of these items, I don't care to get them. They don't really boost us too crazily, and they most of them have a negative effect on them, and I don't really want to run those. So we'll get them if we have the points, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get the points to get those anymore. So if we take a look at the new table, I believe it's this one, Advanced Electronics Workbench. So this is one that still needs an employee. We can't automate it with the conveyors and all that jazz. But this one gives us the things that we're making right now, which are the controllers. Those make it at 0.57 a day. We have a better workbench for these things that give us a 0.38 a day. Which are these guys? 0.54. So we do have a decrease in those tables versus the ones we're using right now. So we could swap out these tables really quick, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do and just see if we have an excess of items being produced or not. Okay, and with all those swapped out, we should, yeah, they definitely are making these a lot quicker. The controllers, those were taking a second to make, but it looks like we're flying through those now, so that's pretty good. In between episodes, I think I'll go ahead and swap out the tables in this area too that we can. I believe the integrated circuits might be the only one. I could be wrong. I think these ones, the displays might be able to be made on a different table. We'll go ahead and swap those out. But next episode, I think we are going to start dedicating buildings to specific items that we will be using in all of our stuff. And hopefully we can kind of have mass supplies of these things being made to go ahead and feed our little network of stuff that we need to be being fed those items. But for right now, I think that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.